Hello and welcome to part 2 of the World's 2025 team comparisons. So in part 1, we went over damage share, gold share, and kill participation very briefly and realized mostly everybody did the same thing. I think 15 of the 17 teams, the leader in damage share was the 80 carry, PSG and Koi being the two exceptions. Gold share was always the 80 carry. And then kill participation was a mix of jungle, support, and mid lane. So in this video, we go a little bit deeper. We see it's color coded here, and in red is top lane, green is jungle, and it's going to be hard to see the difference between jungle and support. I just go off of Leaguepedia, how they have it color coded, and really we see it color coded this way in more places than just that. But mid lane's orange, blue, a darker blue is bot, and light blue is support. So we look at damage share, and like I said, 15 of 17 teams, 80 carry leads the way. Now, the interesting thing that we find here is that everybody follows the traditional order of operations. At least this is based on summer playoffs that I have historically seen and considered of. 80 carry leads, mid laner tends to be second tier carry, then top laner, then jungle. And in this case, there's only a few teams that go against that. We talked about Koi and PSG a bit, but anyone's legend, Tarzan had slightly more damage than Flandre, and we did see Tarzan play a lot of carry-oriented champions this season and in summer playoffs as well, and he's one of the best junglers in the world because of this. We look at top esports and the spread they have. 26 is the highest. 20% is the lowest. So all four players playing carry-oriented champions at some time throughout the summer. Majority of the time it's 80 carry and mid, but, you know, Kanavi with 20% of the team's damage, that's a significant portion. After that, IG, the Shy, second in damage share on that team. Not a big surprise. IG and top esports, by the way, these is the playoffs, not including regional finals. Koi, Supa is third on his team in damage share. This notion that he hard carried in playoffs is false. The numbers speak for themselves. Now, 25% is almost as much as 26. But we look at all the other 80 carries on this board, they're either first or second on their team in damage. And it's not to say that Supa is not capable of it. It's just this season he has not done that, in my opinion. Any other outliers? We have PSG, like I said. Maple, clearly the leader in damage share on his team. He has as much damage share as other tier 1 carries on this board. In gold share, more often than not, it follows the damage share order of operations. It's usually 80 carry, mid, top, jungle. Now, there are some teams that are different. KT, Cuz, a significant amount of gold, a little bit more than Perfect. And Perfect didn't deal all that much damage at 19%. He was not a carry-oriented top laner, and that's in part what I think holds KT back a bit. T1, we see Owner with the second most gold share on his team. BLG is pretty normal. Anyone's legend, Tarzan, more than Flandre, that makes sense. Top esports, Kanavi more than 369. We see IG following suit, except that Wei has more of a gold share than Rookie. G2, Skuman more than BB. FlyQuest, the top lane duo of Gakos and Bwipo, more gold share, second gold team on their team in gold share, which is no surprise. I do see the top side as a more carry-oriented part of FlyQuest in the gold department. The resource allotment. The damage may not reflect that, but the resource allotment does. Decimus has more gold than Bull. And then Karsa, a little more than Asha. So some teams that kind of go against that, and we're looking at percentages. That's why you might see 21 next to 21. It's tenths of a percentage difference. And with gold, it is not only resource allotment, but sometimes you just get lucky and get a shutdown. Or unlucky, depending on who got it, and it's going to affect things. Kill participation. Who is driving the bus? Like I said, majority of the time it's jungle, it's support, it's mid, and in the case of HLE, it ended up being Viper at 81%. But outside of that, it's usually the top lane that is the least involved. They're the most likely party to be on the weak side on a solo dolo mission. And in the case of a team like KT or BLG, KT, BLG, G2, Koi, those 4 teams, their kill participations are much lower, around 50% or south of it. They are not as involved in what their team does as a player like Aja might be, or Flandre. It's a very different vibe with those 2 teams versus the others, and how they're fighting and how they're finding ways to get kills. Bot side of the rift, getting a lot of involvement with some of these teams. You look at a case like BLG, it is the bot lane duo that leads, but only at 70%. They're fighting together. Well, there's a lot of fighting all over the place, which is, I guess, explaining Bin's 52. But for the most part, the leaders are the leaders. We look at a case like Fnatic, Poby, not that involved. The team fights around the bot side with Upset and Mickey. It's clear that's the case. You look at Koi, they don't fight along Supa quite as much, and they more so go to mid lane. That is a thing. But some interesting things on the board here to consider as we dive a little deeper into these share stats and participation stats, try and figure out who is doing what for these teams. And you find that the facilitator mids tend to be the ones that lead in high kill participation. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.